Howdy y'all, happy Tuesday once again. I hope this week finds you all well. Let's go over last week's puzzler. You guys are a smart group, I gotta tell you. The puzzler was, you measure my life in hours, and I serve you by expiring. I am quick when I am thin, and slow when I am fat. The wind is my enemy. Once again, it is not your quarantine body. It is, in fact, a candle. So kudos to you guys that got it. Well done. You're a smart lot, I gotta say. So this week I thought I'd tell you a bit of a story. Some of you know that I really like to kayak. It is one of my favoriteest times to hang out with God. Sometimes we talk the whole time. Sometimes just a few sentences in a few hours. Sometimes he just leaves me with my thoughts. But it is always a welcome opportunity to spend some time with the Lord and nature. One of the things I try and do when I'm out there is to stop paddling. Find a safe spot, mind you, but just not paddle and let the tide take me where it will. I can't do it. It drives me nuts. All I'm going to do is possibly bump into the reeds. Sometimes maybe you'll stop because the current is weird. Sometimes the current will make you go backwards, and that really drives me nuts. I can't not have my boat going in the correct direction. I have to put that paddle in and correct the course that I think I should be traveling. So, quite a few years ago, a friend of mine talked me into taking a kayaking class, I guess you would say. And we met up at, this place, I don't know. And we put our helmets on, and they were like real river kayaks, so they were a little shorter and stockier, and you kind of sat on your knees on them, and you had the skirt that goes around your waist, and then straps around the top of the kayak for watertight seals, so, your boat doesn't fill with water. All kinds of fancy stuff. So we're tooling down the canal, nice and quiet, and over to the right was a rock climbing area, this huge cliff that people were climbing with ropes, professional-like. And a few of us, were just looking around, and we look over to this wall, and there's an outcropping, and I swear a pterodactyl just opens its wings, leans off of that little thing, and cliff-type thing, and just comes cruising down, buzzes over a bunch of us. Who were like, what the world, and in we went, right? Splash. Because when you duck in a kayak, you fall over. I learned later that was a blue heron, and they are one of my favorite things to spot nowadays when I go out. But back then, I would have bet you money it was a pterodactyl. So, our instructor says, well, while we're in, and quite a few of us are wet, why don't we practice our T-boning? So the idea is you intentionally turn your kayak over, hang out upside down, reach up, bang on the top of your kayak, and wait for your partner to T-bone you. And when they do that, then you can reach up, grab the point of their kayak, and right yourself over. So you don't have to pull your skirt off. Your boat fills with water, you have to swim everything to shore. This is an easy way to stay in your boat and right yourself. Sure. It's kind of like jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. My kayak's up, I'm up, why do I intentionally want to flip it over? But we did. Everybody did. Everybody lived. Grab onto the kayak, flip yourself back over. Okay, that's the plan. So we get in our kayaks, we paddle on down to the river. We all get in the river, which was rapidy. Minute, 2 minutes, I don't know. Every single one of us, over we go. Every single one of us pulls our cord, bails out, swims to shore. It was the quickest kayak excursion ever. So we're all kind of coughing and sputtering and helping each other get to shore, and we hear this noise, and we look out into the river, and there's one of us left going down the river, banging on his kayak like he's supposed to. And we were all like, dude, we're all over here. Bail. So our instructor, takes off after him, and he was fine. And at the time, I remember thinking, what a goofball. What are you doing? fail, swim to shore. Over the years, that vision comes up quite a bit, especially when I'm out on the water, of this guy underneath his kayak, banging on the bottom, being patient and waiting for somebody to come and help him. I've been thinking about that a lot this weekend. I think maybe what we need today, tomorrow, in the future is a bit more patience. I've spoken before about forgiveness, and forgiveness is absolutely necessary, but if we are a little more patient with each other, maybe we wouldn't need quite as much forgiveness. So, let me read you the definition of patience. The capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. Take a few minutes, take a breath, count to 10 when the guy behind you in the line getting your coffee is going off on some political rant, or commenting on the racism and the violence that's going on now. Somebody cuts you off in traffic, or, your kids are screaming. Patience. Patience is what we need. When we were on this kayaking trip, 9 out of 10 of us were not even patient. Faced with darkness and uncertainty and fear, we bailed quicker than I don't know what. There was one of us that had patience to float down the river towards his goal, just waiting for somebody. I find that fascinating now that I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser, maybe. There's no harm in being patient. Hear these words from Ephesians 4, as soon as I find them, verses 1 through 6. I'm using the New Living Translation. It says, "Therefore I, a prisoner for serving the Lord, beg you to lead a life worthy of your calling, for you have been called by God. Always be humble and be gentle. Be patient with each other, making allowances for each other's faults because of your love. Make every effort to keep yourselves united in the Spirit, binding yourselves together with peace. For there is one body and one Spirit, just as you have been called to one glorious hope for the future. There is one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all, in all, and living through all. Love one another, be faithful, pray all the time, and be patient. Give everybody a minute or two. I think that will help us all. Amen. Alright, so keeping with the theme of boating, because you can see my kayak's still sticking out of the back of my car, this week's puzzler is: you see a boat filled with people. It has not sunk, but when you look back, you don't see a single person on the boat. Why is that? One more time. You see a boat filled with people. It has not sunk, but when you look back again, you do not see a single person on the boat. Why is that? Alright, my friends, good luck with that. Have a good week. Be patient with one another. Keep the faith. Keep praying. God bless all. Take care.